Good evening, Rokugan. Thank you for tuning in to Fire Chicken Review, where we talk about custom gaming products for the living card game Legend of the Five Rings, made by Fantasy Flight Games. As you see in front of you today, I have some product that has been gifted to me by a company named Funny Monkey Things. I enjoy saying their name. All their products I will be linking below for their Etsy store, their Facebook page, as well as their own webpage that they have up. And you can check out some of their products on your own if you're interested in buying any of it. Starting off in no particular order, I'm going to just remove some of the tokens here and just put it to the side. And we'll start off with the Imperial Favor. It's a double-sided disc that you can see. So you have the fan on one side and the helmet on the other. Comparing it to the core card that comes in the game, if you're not aware, this is the military side. I keep it sleeved, but you can see it's a fairly... it's a little bit of a boring card, I won't lie, and that's why most players quickly replace this with either the ones that you get in the game night kits or some custom tokens, because they usually tend to be inexpensive. And this token here is no different. It's fairly inexpensive. I think it's only like a couple of dollars plus shipping. And it's a quick replacement. What I also really like about this one here is the fact that it's, instead of using a card, they went with an acrylic token that's circular instead of the same shape as the Imperial Favor. So instead of just being a squared box or something like that, they said, hey, let's try something different. The only issue I have with it, however, is it doesn't have the symbol down here to represent. It gives you +1 strength if you control the Imperial Favor. So if you have it on the military side, giving you +1 military, of course, and if you have it on the political side, giving you +1 political to your battles there when you're competing. And the reason why I have an issue with that is simply because during a tournament, when your brain's starting to get fried, you might forget, if you're like me, even if you have the card in front of you from the core set, you might forget, and it's like, oh yeah, especially when you're playing with custom tokens, you want it to be clearly noticed. That being said, I think this does a decent job. You can easily tell that this is for the political side, and you can tell that this is for the military side. So if you're looking to replace the card, it's a quick, easy replacement. So I would recommend it, or check out some of the other ones as well. Going on to the next thing here, I just wanted to put their literal honor bid dial. Let me just show you compared to their honor tokens that they have here. So they went for the honor tokens. I can show you close up. So this is their dial, and this is their honor acrylic tokens. I love the fact that they said, hey, let's blow up the acrylic token and make an actual literal honor bid dial, which is kind of interesting. If I was to compare this to what comes in the base game, it's quite a bit smaller for those that are looking here. And what's nice is the number is actually slightly bigger. It's a little bit easier to see. Of course, I just have my camera here, so it looks like it's a little bit harder. But as an opponent, I'll be able to see this clearly across the room. So that's nice. It will fit in your deck box. Another big bonus. That being said, there is a few issues I have with it. One of the things is I find it turns too easily. And the other issue is that there's actually no backing on this. It's just a front face, and then the back face is the actual disc on the back here. It would have been nice if there was a backing, because if I put this down as a 3, if I turn it over, it easily could slip, and that's because the dial turns a little bit easy, and I think it's because of just the style. If I was to press this in a little bit more, it might turn. Let me just give this a shot. Yeah, so I think it's just because it's a little bit loose there. So now it's turning. Let me just zoom in. Not zoom in, but put it clearer. So it's turning better, so that's a quick fix. That being said, I still am not a big fan, because I can still do this. It's turning slower, but I'm a little bit hesitant on that. I don't know, that might just be me. Overall, the design and the look of it, I, again, really enjoy the fact that it's a literal version of honor. So it's an honor bid dial. It's people recognize this quite easily. And the fact that I can fit it in my deck box on top of it being such a small thing. I think this is a very interesting one. I have a little bit of a mixed review just because of tightening it or loosening it. I think just squeezing down like I just did seems to have done the job overall. And yeah, it would be nice to have a back as well. That being said, I recommend checking out, see if it's something for you or not. Next thing, I just want to get into the very easy thing to get into, which is the honor and honor tokens and the fate tokens here. So you have the ones that come in the core set that look like this. So there's your honor tokens, there's your fate tokens compared to the acrylics. I find a lot of companies, including this company, has done a really good job of making these. So if I was to take this, just give me a second here and show you a little bit closer what it looks like. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than the cardboard here, which is perfectly fine if I can stop dropping all these and getting you motion sickness. It's a little bit bigger than the cardboard, but it's a nice size. It's a nice weight. It's the same symbology, which is nice. And if you like acrylic, this is an easy upgrade to me. I think the white really pops out against the background of the red, just like the original. The only issue with a lot of acrylics is that most people aren't putting anything on the back, so this one doesn't have anything on the back. I don't think it's a necessity. It will have just been nice. Overall, I would easily pick this up as a player because they're quite good looking. Moving on to the fate tokens, very similar. Has a similar look to the ones that come into with the core set of the game. Interesting enough, I'm not sure why. I would like to ask the company, but these ones here are actually double-sided. I think if they were going to make it double-sided, it's just probably the design of it. It would have been nice if one side was either shaded differently or had a different symbology so you can represent, hey, I got my card here. It's one fate on my character, 2 fate, or just if you have fate out, you can just use a little bit fewer tokens. That being said, they work quite well. If I was to put this on my character, it'll fit on my character easily. Looks great. Putting to, again, there's not too much to show, but just to put the comparison, again, to compare to the cardboard there. Moving on from the fate and honor tokens, let's talk about the honored, and because I don't want to dishonor my favorite clan, the dishonored status tokens here. And these things are absolutely gorgeous, to be honest. I really like the design of these. Just showing it quickly in a closer view. It doesn't take up that much space on the card. If you're using a full bleed like this, it's nice that it can go on the card. I don't think this was part of the design, but it's very cool that it can stand up as well. I'm not sure if they intended it to or not. I really like that aspect. And again, I really like the aspect that it doesn't take up much space. It doesn't take up much space. Only issue with, again, with much of the acrylics, there's no back to this. It would have been nice in this case if it was honored on one side and dishonored on the other side. I understand why, because you can see that it's just a white acrylic versus a black acrylic. My other small complaint, if I was to take this, I can show you here. Again, I'm not sure if this is just the copy that I got. And you might not be able to see it, but there's a slight miscoloration here. You can see that the front one here, it's a little bit brown looking on the top. So if I was to show you here, let me see here. Just give me a second. So it's slightly brown on the top. I'm not sure why. It looks like it's a miscoloration, or maybe that's just the design to have like, or the burned edge of the laser printing. So if I was to compare the bottom of this one to this, you can see it. But it's only on the white. I think it's just a design thing. On the black one there, you don't really see it. And I apologize. I'm just trying to show all aspects of it. Overall, these look great though. Again, very inexpensive. I think a set is only a couple dollars to get these. These look great on your card when you put them on. So you can put them on like this or keep them down. It would have been nice, again, if they were double-sided, because if I was showing my opponent here, I'm not going to be able to see my card itself. But I don't really need to. It's just kind of cool to have like a 3D version of it. And if I was to compare it to putting it on the card, that does have that's not full bleed. It doesn't take up that much space, so you can still see a lot of the art. You can place it wherever you want, and I would easily replace what comes in the core set. So you have this big hunky thing with the small token instead, so you can have the Dishonored or the Honored sides here. Quite a big difference in the size. Looks great, and yeah, I would pick these up. I would highly recommend these ones. Again, besides the slight laser edge there or miscoloration, these look fantastic to me. So that was my quick review of funny monkey things. So those are all the tokens that they made there. Let me know what you think of the review. I'm actually going to be doing another review for their Arkham Horror living card game tokens that they gave me shortly. So it'll be my first outside of L5R tokens I will be reviewing. So hopefully you like some of their tokens. I'll be posting again all the links below, and check out some of my other videos. Thank you for tuning in to Fire Chicken Review, and as always, hope you're enjoying Rokugan like I am. Cheers.